Welcome to Sovereign Tarot, where we unite our High Priestess with our Hierophant to create peace, love, and joy in our inner realms through conscious presence. Okay, today I'm going to do a reading for Pisces, my Pisces peeps. I'm a Pisces, and I love my Pisces. Okay, so we are going to start with, I am no longer going to start with the Course in Miracles. That's going to be just for the collective readings, so that I don't have to take as much time from the other readings and I can move quicker. Okay, so we're going to do the Divine Beloved to set an intention and a prayer for our reading. And I don't know if you can feel it, but we are shifting into a new energy. A new energy where the feminine leads and guides. It's our intuition, our inner knowing, and I'm feeling this and it's just so exciting. I just want to dance and sing all the time. So I'm really happy about this also because I feel like I'm free and it's just an awesome feeling. Okay, cool. So we got uniqueness. We got two cards, uniqueness and divinity. All right. I accept my own nature. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who embraces my own uniqueness. Let me accept my own nature completely, knowing it too is divine. May I love myself as I am, not as others say I should be. Isn't that beautiful? Divinity, I know my true identity. May I always remember my true identity, unlimited light and love. Let me know myself as pure consciousness. Wake me from the sleepwalk of believing I am only human. Breathe that in. Today I had this great thought. It was, what if, and I think this is a true thought, but it took me a while to get here. What if what I did was the right thing to do? Getting a divorce, starting a new life, letting go of the old life. What if that was the best thing that I could have done for a really difficult decision, but the best thing that I could have done for everyone? The system needed that. And I think it's true for a lot of us light workers and healers. What if the best thing we could do was to exit the system? I think it's true. Because we were going to die anyway. So instead of dying, we do die, but we're reborn in this world. Or we're reborn into the new earth, and we lead others into it. That's what's happening. I'm really excited about this. Okay, so I wasn't planning on getting this deck, but I kind of unconsciously did that. So we're going to get from the Wisdom of the Oracle, and it says here and now. And that is really what I'm finding, is that when we're really present here and now, we know exactly what we need to do. It's number 32, so that's a 5, because you just add the two numbers together in numerology, and 5s are all about change. Being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. Everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today. If you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has potential for you to create miracles in your life. I personally am having so much fun today. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just making it be like, oh my God, what else could I do that would make... But I'm staying in the moment, so it's just something will emerge. I'm not taking myself out of the moment. Each moment leading into the next. So now now we're going to do Celtic Cross with the Light Seers Tarot for my Pisces people. The Pisces people. Oh no, first I want to get the archetype cards. What archetypes are we working with? Okay. Okay, we got trickster and servant. All right, so these might be some energies that we are working with. Trickster energy could be like devilish energy, which is just kind of like saying to you, do you really believe that? What do you really believe? It's that little flicker of like, we're still in the kind of in between place, and you're still being like challenged a little bit to make sure you're cleaning up everything. You're cleaning up everything so you can fully move into your best future, your best life. I shouldn't say future because you want to be in the present moment. So the trickster could be devilish energy. It could be like coyote animal energy. With the coyote keeps making mistakes to make sure that it learned its lesson. Transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Yes, this is so great. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. My nose is running. Of how I used this today. Okay, so I went to a basketball game, and then there were people that I went to see at the basketball game. So I went to see these people at the basketball game. And I went up to them after the basketball game, and I was just like talking to them, and then they moved into other conversations, and I was like, they like excused themselves, and I was just like, my old person would have waited for them to come back to me, but who I am now, my whole sovereign self, was like, I don't have to stay here, so I just left, and I felt so free. So it's that transcending convention, what you think you're supposed to do and what other people expect you to do, and that stuffiness and like falling into a certain role, you're transcending that. You're stepping out of that, and you're just being your whole beautiful self. And what is your self telling you? The shadow attribute of this is manipulating others through duplicity, which that's up in your head. That's getting up into your ego. But you don't need to do that. You just pay attention to your body. What is your body telling you? My body was like, let's go. Okay. And then the servant is light attribute is delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. So people get used to you serving them. And then you think that you're supposed to do it. You fall into that role, that pattern of taking care of everybody, serving them, and then you feel like you have to. And you can't do this freely with a loving heart. So last night I went out, and we went to karaoke. We went to a restaurant, and we sat at a table with a bunch of people that we normally wouldn't sit with. It was like a community table, which was so awesome. And because I'm not a therapist anymore, and I'm not taking care of everybody's problems and overloaded and depleted and bogged down and sad and grieving energy, I had all this like love to give, and I was just freely giving it, and it just felt so good. I loved people and they loved me, and it's that kind of energy that we want, that we want to have in this world. So if we fall into these old patterns, these stuck behaviors, we're not going to get there. So the shadow attribute is using the lack of money as an excuse to not move forward with life. So we can and I could do that too, because I am not making any money right now because I'm not doing my usual job. But I'm not using that as an excuse. I know it's going to come. I know everything's going to come, and I'm just trusting and believing and delighting in serving others with a free and loving heart. So let's see what happens. Okay, now we're going to go with the Light Seers Tarot. Ooh, the first card we got is the King of Wands. So we're in this King of Wands energy. We're in our firepower, our lion, our leadership, our authority. And crossing that, we have the Three of Cups. Community, creating community, loving community. Okay. And then under that, we have the Chariot, and like this fast moving energy. Maybe you could feel that. It's like a wave building, momentum, like stirring up underneath us. Like something is coming. This new energy is about to be unleashed. We're about to enter new territory. And that's what's underneath what's coming up. Then behind us, we have the Two of Wands, and that's upside down. Okay, so it's where we're kind of at a crossroads, looking out and making a choice in which direction we want to go. Then above us, we have the Queen of Swords, clarity. So clarity coming in, knowing. And then in front of us, we have the Page of Wands. That's upside down, so we'll see what the upside down might mean. Okay. So if you are familiar with my readings, you might know that I also do family constellations. And family constellations is about energy, where it is, and looking at energy where it is and where there might be stuckness or entanglements or exclusions, things that we don't want to see or we need to see and accept. And so I use it in my tarot readings as a way to move the energy in the direction we want it to go. So if we have upside down cards and we want them to be righted, sometimes we don't want them to be righted. Sometimes they're good in that place. And sometimes we just need to observe and acknowledge what's coming up. But if we're ready to take that and turn it over and move forward, and we need the other energy, we do an affirmation, which is right here in the book, and then we flip the card right side up, so the energy is going in the direction we want it to go. So that's how I use constellations in tarot. And if I had people, we might use it in a different way too. We might actually use it in a physical way, which this upcoming weekend on Saturday, I'm getting a few of my friends together to try some different things, to have fun, because that's going to be my not everyone's cup of tea parties, or we could do wine parties too, because I'm really big into wine. I love wine, and it's fun to get together with your friends and drink wine and do tarot card readings and constellations and have all good energy and create this kind of community, because that's the power of women. We support each other, and we're going to change the world that way. Nothing's going to stop us. Okay, so now we're going to get the path of the earthly path of what's happening, where we're taking this. So the Page of Swords is what's right in front of you. So new beginnings, new projects. But it's upside down, so we're going to see what that's about. Okay, and then we got the Eight of Pentacles upside down over here. So that's where we're at, what's happening for us right now. And then in front of that, in the environment, we have the Five of Wands. So working together, supporting each other, standing on each other's shoulders. And then above that, we have the Ace of Swords upside down. So that's in the fear or hopes and fears. And that would be right side up. It would be illumination and kind of like awareness, new ideas, inspiration, could be awakening something in you. And then above that, in the final outcome, we have the Wheel of Fortune, or the wheel, which is, I think, the Wheel of Fortune. And we'll just, that one's upside down also, so we'll see what that's about. And then we got 3 extra cards, so we're just gonna put those there for extra information. The 7 of Wands, Page of Cups, and the Lovers. Okay, so let's see what this story is trying to tell us. So I want to know about this 2 of Wands that's upside down in the background. So I'm going to get more information about that. Oops, I'm reading the wrong deck. Here we are. Okay, fear of taking the next step, being stuck in your past. Okay, and that was in the past. So there was this fear of taking the next step in your past, feeling worried about your abilities, and an opportunity for alignment. So the stars haven't been aligning yet. We've been kind of like stewing in our own stuff, making sure we've learned the lessons, not really quite ready for movement yet, trying to let go of everything that we don't need to move forward. So it really hasn't been the right timing yet. And then in front of, like, what's right ahead of us is the Page of Wands upside down. So we're gonna get that one. All right, so right side up, that would be explosive creativity and infectious enthusiasm. Ideas aplenty, creative beginnings, a newly found inspiration, honing a new skill or passion, curiosity and trying new things. Giving yourself permission to dream, great energy for creative ideation and brainstorming, a youthful spark. Okay, but upside down, it's limiting beliefs, creator angst, a need to direct your energy, feeling eager to start something new, but confronted by obstacles, hot-headedness, and being rebellious. So some of that is not your fault, right? Because some of that is just what we're going through in the energy that's here right now. And it's for us to be able to, it's coming up for us to be able to see it and observe it. So that's what I was talking about before. Sometimes we don't want to see it right side. We don't want to turn it right side up yet. We want to be able to acknowledge what is there. So if you're feeling limited beliefs, what's happening for you? What's coming up? What are those thoughts that are coming up for you? Just acknowledge them. Validate where they're coming from. They're probably coming from your past. So validate that experience and then bring your highest self, who you are now, into them and care for them, love them, and let that part of you know, this is a little bit of internal family systems, that that past is gone and you have everything that you need right now to move forward. And you can even visualize, show that younger version of yourself where you are now and what you've come through. So you're bringing that past self into the present, and you're basically taking that neuronal connection in your brain and you're making a new one. So that part of you doesn't get stuck there in the past, but you move it forward into the present moment and you let it feel all of the power and the strength and the resources that you have within you, that you have found through your experiences and that you know you have. And then you're ready to turn it right side up. And if you're ready for that, you can say, as the dreamer of my dream, I spontaneously and passionately ignite this flame. And then we're going over here to the path of the earthly path. And we have the 8 of Pentacles upside down. So let's see what happens. 8 of Pentacles. So that is, you're taking it to the earth. The Pentacles are earth cards. And that one's upside down. So you may be having a little bit of burnout left. So maybe you tried this before, or you're just burnt out. And you don't want to keep doing the same thing. And that's good that you don't want to keep doing the same thing. So that part of you that's feeling burnt out, just allow it to come up. Acknowledge it. I feel you like burnt out, tired from everything that you've dealt with. And validate it. Of course you feel that way. You've been through a lot. Yesterday I told myself, I found myself telling somebody, I'm like, yeah, it took me like a year to heal from the divorce, and now I'm really ready to move on. And then I thought, like, only a year? Like, wow, that was a lot. That was a lot to heal from in 1 year. And it's not like I'm fully done, but I did a lot of healing over the last year. And I just was surprised that I said it like it was a long time, because it wasn't really that long to heal from something, to heal from a lifetime of pain, really. It wasn't just pain. There was a lot of good too. But it was this, my nervous system was in this fight or flight mode, and I was just carrying so much grief for a long time, and feeling like always on the outside, just always feeling on the outside. Okay, so we can turn this right side up, and then it's about mastering a skill. The Meraki that you put into your work, methodical progress, patience, and determination, your sole purpose. Okay, so somewhere in that burnout, you do have a soul purpose. What gives you light? What brings you joy? That's the other thing that happened to me yesterday. Somebody said to me, I was telling them how I was giving up being a therapist and I was going to become a tarot card reader, or I'm becoming a tarot card reader. And I also want to study astrology. And they said, do you just love it so much? And I'm like, yes, I do love it so much. I really do love it so much. And it just made me realize, like, yes, I do love this. Like, this is what I want to do. And there's still like a part of me that's like holding back and thinking, you're not supposed to do that, which I see like we have here in these cards, that trickster energy, like, you're not supposed to do that. You're a therapist. You should take yourself more seriously. No, I shouldn't. I want to have fun. I want to have fun, and I'm still really offering something very valuable. And so anyway, maybe you could relate to that. I'm going to turn it right side up. With loving determination, I persevere, and I become the person I long to be. Cool. Okay, so now we have in front of us in the environment the 5 of Wands. I use myself as an example so that you can relate, and it will be a different story for you, but maybe you could relate. Maybe it's something similar for you. Okay, so this is competition, conflict, ambition, challenge, being pushed by others to excel, brainstorming, mental jousting, adrenaline and aggression, surpassing limits, dynamic energy, leveling up. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is leveling up. You're standing on the shoulders of all of your ancestors, and they want you to be happy, and they're rooting for you, and they're like, yes, break out of this cycle. You could do it. Okay. And then we have in our hopes and fears, the Ace of Swords. Okay, so let's get that. That one's upside down. So we're going to see so it is swords. It's mental, right? Which fits with fear. So over-analyzing, getting stalled out or stuck, clouded judgment, keeping truth inside. Okay, we don't want to keep truth inside. The truth is, I'm really excited about being a tarot card reader. And I think it's actually more than that I am. But I get to use this tool that I love to teach and express who I am as an embodied sovereign person. And I want people to also realize that they're sovereign and we could create a whole new beautiful world. Okay, so we can turn it right side up, and then we get new ideas, clarity, an aha moment, truth revealed, awareness, and heightened states of consciousness, communication, victory, success, triumph, a stroke of genius. So we can say, I experience brilliant moments of clarity. Okay, now in the outcome above us, we have the wheel. That's a number 10. It's completion. So we're completing this cycle. Oh, it's upside down because we need to relinquish control. That's why we need to let go of control. We don't have control over everything. We only have control over where we want to go. We don't have control over the timing. We don't have control over how it happens. So we need to be able to relinquish control. Changes, fate, destiny, a lucky break, cycling up through karmic lessons. If you can release control, you can cycle up through karmic lessons. And we're going to say, I allow the transformative energies of fate to help me to expand my experience. So we're leveling up. And then we have extra cards. We have the 7 of Wands. So what do they want to tell us? What do these extra cards want to tell us? We need to ground ourselves. We need to know that we're deserving of this success. And yeah, so we need to ground ourselves and know that we deserve this success. We really need to know that. So if there's anything that you need to forgive yourself for, like today I realized that I had forgiven myself when I realized that I made the exact right choice, as difficult as it was for myself and for everyone else. And there was nothing that I needed to forgive myself for. And it was all going to work out for everyone. And I am deserving of this success, and I will bravely shine my light into the world. Okay, and then we have the Page of Cups upside down. Okay. Missing the signs, being overly sensitive, displaying childish emotions, blocked creativity. Okay. So does that fit for you, being overly sensitive, missing the signs, displaying childish emotions, blocked creativity? I'm going to read you a little more about this, okay? There is serendipity and magic here. Like the first breath of love or a very first kiss, anything is possible at this time. Be open to wildly wonderful miracles. This is the When Pigs Fly card. And holding it in your hands is a sign that unforeseen yet fortuitous events are coming your way. Bring childlike enthusiasm to the unknown and welcome any unexpected twist on your journey. Be open to inspiration from the strangest of places and pay attention to the intuitive musings that arrive. They will give your creativity wings. As you enjoy this time of strangely unique thinking, ensure that you are not being overly sensitive or blocking your own flow because you are trying to control the process. Okay, I was doing this because I was worried that I was going to be leaving people behind. And then I realized that I don't have control over that. And everybody has their own path and their own choice. And when I let that go, and I really acknowledged that, and I let it go and realized I didn't have control over it, I was able to move into joy. Allow your emotions to follow the breadcrumbs of joy. I did not even plan that. Play a little more, do something silly, stay curious about any feelings of wonder and awe, and allow your sensitive dreamer to dream. The world is my flourishing oyster, and I am excited to see what happens next. Okay, and then we have the Lovers card. So you're uniting with something. It could be you're uniting with your highest self. It could be you're uniting with your dream. It could be you're uniting with a lover. And it could be all of that. I just want to get if there's anything else that the Lovers card is trying to tell us. You're uniting with your passion. That's a number 6, which is giving and receiving. As you unite with this and you move into alignment, everything just flows. It's amazing. I'm really just starting to experience this. I've had little bites of it, and then it goes away because I get off and I get up in my head. But when I come back down into my body and I've been able to sustain this longer, and it's just flowing so much better. Choosing to allow yourself to fall in love with yourself, with life, with someone else. Healthy boundaries, discernment, knowing what's right for you and what's not. If it feels heavy and bad, it's not right for you. Let it go. My heart is open to deeply meaningful relationships, and I expand into this union with loving trust. Amen. And so it is. And so you remember your beautiful self. I love you, Pisces people.